recently, at the beginning of this year, so January 2025, I saw a report and had a conversation with a company that issued it, a company called Expana. And I found it was interesting what they were putting in, because they were making a prediction and they were wondering if there's a chance of a recession coming. And according to them, in their research, they expect a recession coming in the spring of 2025. So I was a little bit curious, and not that I was surprised or shocked in any way, because let's face it, it's been a long time that there has not been a recession. Every time that there was a bit of a slowdown, governments were just very eager to send checks to the people, to print money and start creating new debt just to make sure that people could keep on spending and avoid a recession at all costs. So to me it's overdue, so it didn't surprise me, but it was kind of interesting to see a little bit their thinking. So in their report, so they were bringing three things. One was that they were looking at the treasury yields and they were seeing that it was coming out of inversion, so they see that as a high risk of recession. Another thing that they were seeing was that the unemployment had been rising slowly, but nonetheless rising since 2023, and that the interest rates had been dropped in 2024, which they also see as a sign of as a trigger for a recession. So yeah, I kind of agree with them, but then the question, of course, that I was asking them was, what do you expect? Because it's not so much that if there is a recession, but is it going to be a mild recession or is it going to be a severe one? And yeah, they seem to think that actually it might be severe. They expect a hard landing. They were kind of rather self-confident in saying that they do not expect a soft landing. So I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, and especially now with the change of administrations in the US and all the threats about tariffs, that might actually also speed up things. Let's face it. Imposing tariffs, if you look at history, has never really delivered anything good. Has never been a winning proposition. In the end, everybody loses because everything becomes more and more expensive. And I see the risk with the tariffs that yeah, prices are going to go up. And if at the same time there is a recession, and yeah, we see also at the moment a number of companies, in the food and agriculture, Cargill has laid off several thousand people. We heard that Meta now is planning to lay off 5% of its workforce, which is also several thousand people. So all those jobs are going away, and the question is, are those people going to find jobs or not? So I really expect that things might get more difficult, and the last thing you want when things become uncertain is to add some inflation. And I'm pretty sure that if indeed the Trump administration imposes tariffs, and they're going to have, of course, retaliatory tariffs against them, the prices are going to go up, and that's going to squeeze a number of consumers, and that's definitely could bring the economy into more difficulties. So yeah, coming back to the question that I was asking them, is it going to be a mild recession or not? I was looking a little bit at the history of the Great Depression of 1929 and the stock market crash then. And I have to say I had a little bit of a shock because there are a number of things that look very similar, like a stock market that has been just booming and booming, that everybody thought that was almost a no-fail way of making money. Imposing tariffs. By then, yeah, there was also some tariff act that caused a lot of problems, in particular inflation, and slowed down the economy, and a bit of panic, and also a little less money available. And let's face it, this time is there going to be again helicopter throwing money on the problem, like in 2007 the Fed chairman Bernanke said he would do, and which he did, but creating, of course, a lot of printed money, which diluted the value of the money that exists. So which way is it going to go? Well, I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm not going to pretend to be, a a Nobel Prize of economy. But I would say take a good look at the history of what led to the Great Depression, because I find that there are a number of scary similarities. So especially, with Donald Trump being rather rigid and aggressive in the way he deals with those things, I certainly would be very careful, and I don't know where this is going, but altogether, if I had a little bit of a meter indicating, am I optimistic or pessimistic, I would say that, at least I would say I would be probably, the needle would be on be careful and be prepared, because some unpleasant things might happen.
If you're interested in my videos, please click on the subscribe button, or you can also visit my website.